Welcome to Hannity. And tonight, carnage in Atlanta, windows smashed, vehicles torched, police attacked. 6 are arrested for domestic terrorism. The defund, dismantled, no bail riots, they are back, but you're not allowed to even call them violent, according to fake news CNN. By the way, where's Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger when you really need them looking into violence and rioting? Remember, there were no hearings on the 574 riots in the summer of 2020. We had thousands of injured cops, dozens of dead Americans, billions in property damage. Kinzinger's too busy selling autographed copies of his one-sided January 6th report. We got full coverage tonight. That's straight ahead. And stick around for tonight's last call. The lowest grade we've gotten so far is from a regular call to my radio show, Velma. She gave me a C. Well, she's back, and she will tell us if she thinks I'm improving tonight. But we begin tonight with a bombshell new development from the Russia hoax. Listen to this. Tonight, big news. By the way, I hope the congenital liar, Adam Schiff, is hanging on to a seat because someone was just arrested for colluding with Russia. But it wasn't Donald Trump or someone from his campaign or the White House or Adam Schiff himself when he was pranked by Russians talking about compromising materials. Remember that one? Instead, it was a man named Charles McGonigal. He was a high-ranking FBI official who worked with the FBI's Trump-Russia collusion investigation for years. The whole hoax, he was there. You literally can't make this up. Now, McGonigal is now accused of taking secret payments from a powerful Russian oligarch in exchange for political favors, including an investigation into a rival oligarch. And he now faces up to 20 years in prison. Now, that was one of the people investigating Trump for collusion. Now, another was former lead investigator Peter Strzok, who has yet to mention the arrest of his former colleague. On Twitter, he's too busy defending Joe Biden and fantasizing about Trump's impending prosecution here, there, or everywhere. The disgraced former agent is the poster boy for political corruption and bias, how the FBI has been politicized. He tweeted on Sunday, quote, applying the facts of what we know of both Biden and Trump's document sagas, Trump should be prosecuted. Biden should not. Okay, sure. Strzok tweeted that, by the way, remember, he's the one that called you a smelly Walmart Trump-supporting shopper. Strzok also tweeted that after even more classified documents were found Saturday in Biden's Delaware home over the weekend. This is now the 5th discovery of stolen or misplaced classified top-secret material in Joe's home or office. And on Friday, after the first 4 discoveries, Biden, quote, graciously invited the FBI and the DOJ into his home for a follow-up inspection. And during a 13-hour search, guess what? Agents found them. Agents found more classified documents and markings, by the way, classification markings surrounding materials, some of which were from the president's service in the Senate and some of which were from his tenure as vice president. Now, remember, Donald Trump has the ability to declassify. There's no set process. There's no law regarding how to do it. That's not something Joe Biden ever had. This now raises very key questions. First, how many classified documents are in those items? 50, 100, 500? Second, how and why did Biden remove classified documents from his time in the U.S. Senate? And where have those documents been for the past 15 years? Thirdly, were the top secret documents stored there in that box labeled important docs in photos? And by the way, this photo was reportedly unearthed from, you got it, the laptop from hell of Hunter Biden. Here's another question. When will the FBI raid Biden's other properties like they did Donald Trump? Or are they just going to wait for Joe's personal attorneys and aides that don't even have security clearances to keep looking to sanitize the crime scene first, like they did at his Wilmington home? Now, of course, Donald Trump did not receive the same gentle treatment, favorable treatment. And every time a Democrat or the media says, well, Joe was cooperative and Trump wasn't. Well, that's not true. Remember, the FBI had unfettered access to the very room where the documents were found during the raid. They had been there before. When they were there and had unfettered, free access, they took nothing, asked for nothing. The only thing they asked for is that that room be padlocked, which it was. And according to my sources, even after that point, Trump hired an outside firm to search all of his properties. He invited the Justice Department to join in, and they said no. That consideration is only for Democrats. Biden mishandled classified material for well over a decade in multiple locations, but federal officials seem to need a personal invitation to conduct a search. Still, this is a major scandal for the Biden White House. Even Democrats are now acknowledging, and even so-called journalists in the media mob are starting to voice concern as well. Take a look.
How does a senator accidentally take classified material home?
Margaret, I don't really know the answer to that question. So that's why there needs to be this independent investigation, an independent prosecutor. How many documents are we talking about? Dozens, a handful, or hundreds? How serious are they? Why were they taken? Did anyone have access to them?
But I can tell you one thing. It's unbelievable how this could happen. It's totally irresponsible. And who's at fault?
To think that any of them ended up in boxes in storage one place or the other is just unacceptable.
Oh, unacceptable. Oh, okay. It took you a while. It took 5 separate times of finding these documents. Nancy Pelosi, for her part, she has a very different take. Her only concern is that MSDNC is too harsh in their coverage of Joe Biden. She's angry at them, telling the New York Times, quote, "I'm not a big fan of MSDNC." Now, of course, Pelosi has more important things to worry about. Apparently, she recently invited Catholic priests into her home to perform an exorcism, according to her own daughter. I certainly pray on her behalf. I hope you will join me in prayer and lift her up in prayer that these evil spirits have left her house.